Fascinating day 4 of the AFL trade period so far, even though only one deal has actually gone through that we know of so far. There might be some late ones as we've seen in the last couple of days. But Josh Corbett moving from Gold Coast to Fremantle is the one confirmed deal. The Dockers gave away a future 4th round pick to Gold Coast to make that trade happen. So we love a future 4th around trade time. There was a future 4th involved in a deal last night too. Ben Long got his wish to move from St Kilda to Gold Coast with a future 4th, and the Saints got pick 32 in return for Ben Long on a 4-year deal, so he'd be pretty happy with that, hoping he can establish himself in the team. Apparently the Suns have in mind playing him across half back, so we've seen that can be lucrative in KFC Supercoach. He hasn't really been a huge scorer so far in his career, but he's played more as a pressure forward, coming off the bench as a sub plenty of times for St Kilda. So maybe there's some potential for Ben Long, but we'll keep an eye on him during the pre-season. The other trade that went through late on Wednesday was Tom Berry moving from Brisbane to the Gold Coast Suns. So the Suns are getting busy, and Brisbane as well. We'll get to them more in a second. Tom Berry hasn't played a heap of games. He's alongside his brother there, Jared, at the Lions, but figured maybe he could get some more opportunities at the Gold Coast Suns down the road. So he's moved across along with pick 46 and a future 2nd round pick, and Brisbane got back picks 25, 36 and 56. So for the Lions, this is all about building draft points so they can cash them in on draft night, and Will Ashcroft will probably be the number 1 pick, and they've got Jasper Fletcher as well, another father-son, who they're going to need points for. So that's a really big consideration to keep in mind when we see what the Lions are doing, which plays into their negotiations with the Bulldogs for Josh Dunkley, which really hit a snag on day 4. This one is really at a stalemate right now. The Dogs wanted 2 first-round picks from Brisbane for Josh Dunkley, obviously best and fairest winner, a very good player who has requested a trade. And they were hoping pick 15 might be part of that deal, but the Lions went and traded pick 15 to GWS in another pick swap earlier in the day yesterday. So they got pick 21 back, so that's not exactly what the Bulldogs had in mind. And then the Lions are saying, well, we'll do that deal, but we want picks 30 and 39 back. So from a Bulldogs point of view, I can see that they'd be saying, look, we're giving you Josh Dunkley, and with that exchange of picks, we're not getting a heap out of this. So they're not really happy with it. They're talking about potentially even pushing Josh Dunkley into the pre-season draft, which means they get absolutely nothing for him, which would be a huge move. But sometimes clubs do take a stand. We saw it with Jack Martin a few years ago with Gold Coast, ended up at Carlton through the pre-season draft, and they didn't get anything in that deal at all. So, how hard are the Dogs prepared to play on this? There's still a week to play out. The expert thinking here in the office is that a deal will get done, but we'll be watching this one as it goes right down to the wire, just like we'll be watching all the other big deals. There's still plenty of big names to play out. We've had 14 players move clubs so far. I'm sure there's going to be plenty more to come. So subscribe and stick right here, and we'll give you all the details.